Mike in Manhattan. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike, has it sunk in? These are the final days or what?
Little by little, yes. It's starting to get there, yes.
Yeah, I was on YouTube. You did something really cool a couple of years back for the anniversary of the station. You had a couple of your callers in sitting with you, and that was entertaining. I saw you in Sour Shoes doing your thing together. That was great.
Was he in? Was he? I don't even remember. Yeah, was he in? Yeah. I've seen him in a couple.
He was doing you and Dog and a couple of guys. He was doing you and Dog and a bunch of people. You guys were tearing it up.
Okay. Yeah, he likes the attention, that's for sure.
Yeah. I was wondering if you guys were going to do something like that again next week.
I don't. We got a lot of stuff planned. I don't know if we're going to do anything with the callers, except the last show will be all callers with no interruption from anybody else. I don't know if we'll have any time to get anybody in. It might be tricky. I don't know. We're really dwindling down to a few shows. We'll have to see. We're going to be Thursday. We're going to be at the Paley Center. We have a lot of live guests that day, plus a lot of call-in guests that day, and that's the last day for guests. We'll have no guests on the last show. Ray in Setauket. What's up, Ray?
Hi, how are you?
Good, Ray. What's up?
I just wanted to let you know that while I was in the Air Force, I think I told you this once before, that you were somebody I had my parents send me tapes of you and Chris together, and it was very important to me while I was away.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
And I just wanted to say, if you answer these two questions.
Yeah, sure, I'll try.
Do you remember a time when the New York Mets, the New York Giants, and the New York Yankees all had a new coach together? And who was more influential in their teams? Was Eli Manning to the Giants, or was Jeter to the Yankees?
Quarterback's a different position, so it's not a fair comparison because there's no one on the baseball team as important to his team as the quarterback is to football. It's such a quarterback-centric league, so the quarterback has a special importance to his team. That's why it's not a fair comparison. As far as a year when the Yankees, the Mets, and the Giants changed coaches in the same year, I'd have to go back and look. The Yankees in the 80s changed managers a lot. Met changed managers. I mean, Mons, tell me about the Yankees 1983. Did they change? Did the Yankees change managers in 83? I'm thinking 1983 for all three of them. So you'd have to tell me about the Yankees. I don't remember off the top of my head. No, just Billy? Okay. Billy that year? Okay. So the year I thought about didn't happen. Ryan in Breezy Point. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, I caught some of the Boone press conference. It kind of sounded like the intern got promoted to the CEO, but
that's not fair. He wasn't an intern. The guy is just from
the sense that he has no experience. And
listen, none of these managers have any managerial experience. That's what you get now everywhere.
Fair enough. Now we're getting a groundswell on Schwarber for Betances and Chance Adams. A couple outlets have reported. I don't know how credible it is. I don't know if he's the profile the Yankees lineup needs. I think they need more of a contact line drive gap hitter who can be disruptive on the base paths.
I think the base pass doesn't mean anything anymore.
I think I'd unload Betances in a second.
Well, they will unload.
I'm wary about the Chance Adams thing because
who told you?
Really
wait, how long ago did I tell you that? How long ago? It was last spring that I told you that Betances would be traded this year. I mean, that wasn't a hard one. So Betances was easy. As far as Schwarber coming here, I am a big believer in him. I think he will be a tremendous pickup for the Yankees. I think right now is the year you can steal him off. He had a very, very strangely bad year last year. And, that's the toughest part. He had just an unbelievably bad year. And I think the fact that right now they might
He
consider
did have a
it.
decent second half, though. He had
211 for the season, and I think listen, he did hit 30 home runs, but he had a year where for some reason it just took him so long to get going. And I mean, this is a guy who you expected a lot better from. In terms of that, he did pick it up, as you said. He did hit 30 home runs and knock in 60 runs and score 70 runs and 400 at bats. I love him as a Yankee DH. I would make the trade. I think he's going to be there for a long time. He's going to think he's going to hit 1 million home runs as a Yankee. I think that would be a great move by the Yankees to bring him here. I wanted him last year. Eddie in Rockland, what's up, Eddie?
Hey, Mike. Listen to Spagnola. It didn't sound like he sold himself that well. What does it mean that he has nothing to do with the offense and he has blinders on? He's a defensive coordinator, Super Bowl team. How do you not know offense? You never hear offensive coordinators say, I have nothing to do with the defense and I know nothing about the defense.
I think he's, Eddie, I think he's trying to be, I just think he's trying to low-key the process right now. I told you, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think he's a major candidate for the job. I think it'd be a long shot if he got the job. I really do.
Okay,
I didn't think he'd get the job, to be honest with you. I don't think he will get the job. First of all, he wasn't successful as a head coach. The defense wasn't good this year. I don't think he's going to get the job.
Yeah. How come sometimes when you get a defensive coach, they make that announcement? I won't be having anything to do with the defense. You never hear that from an offensive coach taking over the job.
Well, listen, a lot of guys, understate what they are going to do, and maybe they don't explain it very well. The head coach has got to be involved in everything. He has to be. He's got to oversee everything. Otherwise, he's not being the head coach. Joe in North Babylon, what's up, Joe?
Hey, Mike. If you had the chance to pick the next Giants head coach, would you go Shaw from Stanford?
Yes.
Or Harbaugh?
Harbaugh won't be a Giant coach.
No, I don't think so either.
He's not a Giant guy. The Giants would be incredibly interested in Shaw. They've been interested in him before.
I would love Shaw.
So would I. I think he'd be a great. I'm a big believer in Shaw. I always have been. I think he's a perfect for the pro game.
Do you think?
I don't think he'll leave there though.
Do you think Cowher has a chance?
No, I don't think Cowher wants to coach anymore.
Yeah, I also think
he'd be. I also think he'd be a bad decision.
Okay.
I think he's been out of the league too long. I would love Shaw at Stanford. I think he'd be a tremendous guy for the Giants. I think he'd be a terrific coach. Harbaugh is not a Giant guy. First of all, he's making $9 million a year at Michigan. Secondly, he wants too much control, and he's very difficult to get along with. I do not see him coming to the Giants. But I would tell you this. Watch the Colts situation at 3-9. If the Colts get down where they wind up with the second or third pick, I could see teams getting involved with Luck. And I could see somebody enticing Irsay where that could just change the whole thing there. And Luck could wind up on a different team next year. I just think it's possible. Jason in New Jersey, what's up, Jason?
Hey, Mike, I thought that was a great interview with Cashman. I thought you got a lot of good insight into management and decision-making and the front office's, decision-making with the coach going into the games and so forth. And I thought as far as the McAdoo is concerned, I felt when he decided not to come back on your show this year that personality-wise, everybody's talking nowadays about communication. The communication wasn't there. It wasn't there with the media at all. I don't think it was there with the players. Players who were commenting about him were saying that he would walk past them and
he changed.
Fine him without talking to him.
Listen, he changed this year. He won last year, and I'm not saying the success went to his head, but he clearly changed this year, the way he coached. And maybe it wasn't for the better. Well, but you can't blame everything on him, but maybe it wasn't for the better. Dave and Deal, what's up, Dave?
Hey, what's up, Mike?
What's happening?
Just want to jump right back onto that point you mentioned with Schwarber. Now, listen, obviously I know the base paths aren't as prevalent as they were. But I mean, we're not far removed from Royals and Indians that just completely dominated teams. So I mean, I still think it's
but I don't think that. But I don't think it's about speed on the base paths at all anymore. Now listen, you want to tell me you want more of a contact hitter? That's fine. I think Schwarber's a much better hitter than he looked to be this year. I think he also is made for Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, with the DH.
Plus, he's a high on base percentage guy because he walks. I mean, the guy to me has a chance to be a legitimate 400 home run man.
He'll never field a position, though, Mike.
He's not. He's never going to play a position. That's right.
Yeah.
He's a DH. The Cubs have finally come to the recognition of something that everybody else knew, and it just took them a while to get to. And that is he doesn't have a position. So in a league where there's no DH, he can't play. That's why he should wind up on the Yankees now. He is a DH. They know that now. So get what they can get for him because he is a DH. Mike in Yonkers, what's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike, a few callers back, he said he wished he had $1 for every time he called you. And I was just wondering when I heard that, did you ever wonder how many calls you've taken in the last 30 years? It's got to be in the hundreds of thousands.
I can't even imagine. I mean, Mike, I can't. I really. I wouldn't. I mean, if we looked at it like, if we were realistic and we looked at it, where let's say we took 20. Let's say we took 30 calls. Well, you see, I take by myself a lot more calls because that's what you do when you're by yourself. Let's say you took 40 calls a day. Is that realistic? 40 calls a day? Is it more? You think 40 is realistic? Less than 40?
I would think more.
Well, let's just say 40 for an average. You took 40 calls a day. All right. So that's 200 calls a week. Let's say 45 weeks a year. I mean, you're getting into the high hundreds of thousands of calls if you add everything up in weekends and everything else. You could get up in the high hundreds. You get up in the 700,000-800,000 calls. I guess it's possible. I mean, it's 30 years. Steve in New Jersey, what's up, Steve?
Hey, Mike, how's it going, buddy?
Good, what's happening?
What do you think? Obviously the Giants have messed up the whole quarterback thing, but why isn't Geno Smith playing? I mean, everybody's talking, he's terrible, he's horrible. The guy never had any, he played for the Jets for 3 years. No wide receivers, no running back. They put him out there to play one game, and he did fairly decent. He's got really who's he throwing to? And, why don't you let him play the rest of the season? He's still a young guy. And
what would be the
you benched Eli?
The purpose is to try and win the games. What quarterback gives you the best chance to win the game?
Yeah, they're probably about the same.
I don't agree. I don't think they're the same. I disagree that they're the same. I don't think. I think that's there's nothing that would indicate that they're the same player at all. I mean, the difference in their performances for their careers is startling. Joe in Staten Island, what's up, Joe?
Hey, Mike. I just got two questions.
Yes.
One, if the Colts drop down and they say they are 3-9 and they end the season abysmally, like it kind of looks like they are,
right?
Isn't it a perfect fit for the Jets to kind of auction off their draft pieces to them?
First thing he'd have to do is be willing. Now, you're just wondering if that could break. Where could Irsay be enticed?
It's worth the call.
Listen, I would listen if I were an NFL team. And I didn't have and I was down there, or even if I wasn't, if I could entice him to give up Luck, I would do anything in my power to get. If I didn't have a quarterback, I would be in anything in my power to get him to my team. Whether I'm the Jets, whatever team I am, I would do anything I could. I would offer anything that he would want to get Luck on my team. So I don't know that he can really get him off the team. I think it's more likely that Harbaugh would go there and become the coach with Luck rather than Luck would leave. But, Irsay did say some things that were goofy about Luck, saying that it might be in his head and stuff like that. So, from that standpoint, maybe there could be a rift there. Who knows? But if it was available, I'd be anybody would be in line to see if they could get that done. But you wonder if they could get the first pick in the draft, would they take it and take the young quarterback and then let him go? Huey and Nanuet, what's up, Huey?
Hey, Mike, long time no speak. I just wanted to. I was out at the Tillis Center and really had a great time.
Oh, good.
Great seeing everybody there. And, I want to talk to you about the Giants, but first and foremost, I just wanted to tell you I've been calling you since you and Eddie were in middays and been part of everything for 30 years. And, I was thinking about what the allure of really, your knowledge and, a lot of the guys who grew up like me and grew up with you, we really never had, we were always the older brothers. And working with you is like, listening to you and talking to you is like having an older brother that we never had who really, we love sports and somebody else that we could talk to. And I just wanted to thank you for all the great work.
Well, thank you. That's very nice.
Always,
thank you.
Being honest, taking our calls, and I really love talking to you.
Thank you.
So thank you for that. And,
thanks very much.
It's been great, and best of luck to you.
Thanks very much.
Next year, obviously, with the Giants, I think some guys have already talked about it, but I just wanted to also just reiterate, even if we were to draft a young quarterback, and even if Darno is the guy, and I think he has a lot of great raw talent, do you think that the Giants are in a position where they get the defense straight? Maybe they shore up the offensive line with a couple of good studs, maybe even a free agent. Maybe we get a running back. Do you think the Giants are in a position right now to hand the team over to a young guy like that?
I think you have to.
Eli would still have to. Yeah.
I think you have to, though. I think that's the way to handle it. That's what the Giants did last time with Eli. I think you need to get those guys in the game. I think you have to let them learn. I think you have to let them play. I think you're past the era where you bring those guys and let them sit on a bench for 3 or 4 years behind another quarterback and then play. All right, are there guys who do that? All right, did Aaron Rodgers do that? Yes, he did. But he sat behind Brett Favre. So I think, though, at this stage, could he sit for 2 years behind Eli Manning? He could. But I just don't see them doing that. Brian in Manhattan, what's up, Brian?
Hey, Mike. First, I wanted to say congrats on the retirement.
Thank you.
Of course, it's well-earned, and, I've really enjoyed calling you over the years. Sorry to switch gears from football, but I wanted to ask you just a quick question about the Yankees situation and how they're going to handle personnel going forward. They hired Aaron Boone to be the manager, and the outfield is pretty much a settled matter with, Aaron Hicks and Aaron Judge. And do you think they could put a bow on this by hiring Hank Aaron to be a bench coach?
Why not? There you go. I get it. Aaron. I get it. Neil in Little Ferry. What's up, Neil?
Hey, Mike. How you doing? Second time, long time. Thanks for taking my call.
What's up?
Gonna miss you when you're gone.
Thank you.
Question on the Eagles. That game really angered me watching Doug Peterson. It seemed like he coached really scared against the Seahawks. And I was just wondering if you think that this was a one-off and it was just a case of, not having one bad game, or do you think this is emblematic of something deeper with the Eagles?
I think it's a very big game. I said this when they played these two games. If you remember, I said it before the last game.
Yes,
I said if they lose to Seattle, and I think they will, because I thought Seattle would win that game.
Right.
I said the Eagle game will become very important because people will be looking to jump off the Eagle bandwagon across America. And more importantly, it's about their belief in themselves. This coach and this quarterback have never been through this before. And as they come down the stretch of the season, they're going to win their division no matter what. We know that.
Right.
But now they could lose. They might have already lost home field. And with that being the case, now this game becomes very, very big. There's a big difference between being the 1 or the 2 and being the 3 seed. And they could wind up being the 3 seed if they lose this game to the Rams this week.
It might actually be 3 or 4.
Right. So this could be a very, very big game this week, an exceedingly big game. And I think it says a lot about where the two young teams are. It says a lot about the coaches. It says a lot about the quarterbacks. I think it's a fascinating game this week, and I bet you'd get a lot of different opinion on who would win the game. And I bet you on Friday, when we get into it, I bet you there'll be a tremendous difference of opinion about who will win that game between the Eagles and the Rams this week. Mark in Sayville, what's up, Mark?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good, what's happening?
Listen, Mike, first I just want to tell you, I know you don't like to be thanked, but I'm a full-time 2-job guy, fire lieutenant and paramedic. I work 2 full-time jobs, so my only entertainment is you.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. And you know what? You do a heck of a job. Anyone who does that, God bless you. And I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being who you were. And secondly, that interview with Eli Manning, the thing that gets me the most is the NFL, which stands behind their shield, I think they have a disconnect with the fans to a degree. Because as a fan, and I've been a Giant fan since '72, the deal with the fan is that I get on board with my players. And a guy like Eli Manning, and if you ever saw the show, The Book of Manning, what this young man has done for this franchise and what he stands for both on and off the field is a template of what the NFL should be standing on and resting their laurels on. And given an opportunity that Eli Manning is this kind of player that doesn't get himself involved with a lot of the shenanigans and the crap that goes on, but stands out as an iconic type of figure that does it right, both on and off, that's a stellar operation there. And I'm glad to see that Mr. Mara listened to the fans and you gave him a platform and gave him an opportunity to express himself. It really does connect and keep us connected to a guy like Eli.
Well, he's done it, and it'll be very popular when he heads to the field this Sunday against the Cowboys, and that game now takes on some interest because of that. It really does. Anthony in Morris Plains. What's up, Anthony?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
What's happening?
A question for you. Not much. Want your opinion on, is Eli the quarterback moving forward under the new regime? Do you think Eli still wants to play for the Maras after everything has happened? Because as you know, they're a very sensitive family. I think Peyton could pave the wave, to have him go to another team and have some holiday conversation with him to say, listen, you've still got a lot left in the gas tank, and you're welcome to explore those options. Do you think his opinion of the family, the Giants, has changed after what has just recently happened?
Yes. I do, yes. I think the odds are that it has, and that he'll more likely be looking to leave after the season. I do think that's probably true. I'm not saying it's not fixable, but do I think there's a rift? I definitely do. Do I think that Eli's thinking in terms of a different future than he was a couple of weeks ago? I definitely do. Does he consider himself now a Giant for life? I don't think he does, no. I think so. Has that changed? I think it's definitely changed, yes. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Alex Rodriguez.